following program contains disturbing materials that may not be suitable for some resellers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, guys, trying something new. Want to do like I want to say a vlog, but maybe just to show you kind of the ins and outs of maybe what we're doing here. You can see I haven't cleaned up anything. I got a damn mess on my hands. And this is what we do. A lot of just dealing with supplies in the way, consolidating supplies. And so I just decided to, go out here and make a video and to talk to you guys while I'm kind of working. And it's kind of late, but that's kind of how we roll. Don't know if you guys saw the video that I put out yesterday. I didn't expect it to get a lot of fanfare, but you could see this is the result of the usage that it had with two different pairs of hockey pads, the goalie gloves, and the blocker thingy, and also a little bit on the shoes. Oh, not shoes, but the skates. The blocker thingy. So, hey, look, I ain't the only YouTuber that has English problems, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Nonetheless, a lot of stuff, man. I got to tell you, I just got through cleaning this workspace only a few days ago, and just constant, just grabbing something, putting it down, going to the next thing. The lack of organization as I work is just uncanny. Why don't you, and Jenna is the camera person, why don't you show everybody the lovely mess that I have that I'm dealing with right now? You want to show the masses? No, I'm not show all that, but I'm just saying. Yep. I know I'm not alone in this. I know I'm not alone in this. There's others that have. Now, yes, this is stuff. Stuff that I've accumulated through yard sales. That's 7 and 9. That stuff's listed, by the way. That stuff is listed. You're whispering into the phone. The mic's over here. They're not going to hear what you're saying. She was saying that's shelf 7 and 9 that she was showing you. It doesn't exist. We have shelves 6, 8, and 10. That's just the way it is. And, it's weird. We have a strange system in here. And I keep telling myself we need to renumber these shelves. I don't know if you want to do a pan around in the shelves. But we have some shelves that are 36, 37. Right next to it's 21, 22. Right next to that 16, 17. G1, G2. Just you have to memorize this to get this right. It's kind of what we're doing every day, memorizing the shit show as we go. And I don't know if that's maybe a process I need to develop, maybe, well, improve my process, because by having numbers on the shelves, it's already a process. But all these items here that she showed you are items I picked up either at the yard sale or they're in queue to be parted out. So yeah, I've got a lot of these things that I have to be parting out, and they're going on the secondary account. They're not going on the main account, and I've run out of good stuff to list on the main account here. So I have a lot of work to do on the second store. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm taking these parts from vacuums. Each one I touch is like a $20 bill plus shipping. Almost every one of these, it's worth my while. Like I say, the juice is worth the squeeze. And if you do enough of them, I guess I'm playing the volume game on the second store. Hopefully you can hear me. Gotta have these air guns, because when I'm pulling boxes out, it's like the cardboard makes a mess, the parts make a mess. Some of these are used items, they make a mess. And yes, I've got a black item on a black background, but Photo Room helps me take care of that. So essentially, I just go here and I'm just taking a series of photos, make sure the lens is clean. Otherwise, you're going to get haze, and you don't want haze on your photos. So we're taking a number of different angles so people can see what they're getting and how they're getting it, in the condition they're getting it. And that's kind of how we roll. Now, these listings are already created, so it's just a matter of me getting in here and doing the photos. And I don't have any problem taking multiple photos, different angles, different close-ups, different views. I want people to see and to make sure they know what they're getting. So that's really what I have going on. Now, I was doing some thinking.
Oh,
Does that scare you?
yeah, I'm just not thinking.
Sales, guys. That's what we're in the business of, making sales. And we have to do everything we can to find a way to get our items to sell. And the one thing that I was taught a long time ago when it comes to sales is it's about how you make the buyer feel. So through your photos, if you have some nice photos, through your interaction with them, through just your listing, what you say in your listing. I mean, people do read these listings. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We give buyers a bad rap that they don't list, that they don't read. They don't even look at the photos. And that's true for a certain small percentage of these people who are, I don't know what it is. It's like they're in a rat race and they just don't have the time to read your long-winded item description. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't use one. I think for the others that are reading, it is a very good idea to be as clear as possible, to avoid inads, and to also, I'm a big proponent of this, using AI to generate bullets, not an item description like eBay, but like Gemini or ChatGPT, telling it to deliver you or create you a optimized item description for eBay search for the following item, and then paste your item in, and then do that for every one of your items that you're listing, and then just copy the bullet points, put them in your listing, and it helps so much. Now, our sales aren't really tearing it up right now, and it has nothing to do with the things that I just talked to you about. It has everything to do with what I'm listing. I find myself lately running out of the items that I need to be listing, that I've listed in the past. I'm just now dealing with parts, and I don't want to say that I'm transitioning over to being a volume seller. I don't want to say that, because that's not true. The truth is that my second store, the one we call Jenna Store, is transitioning over to being that. And I still have an idea of what I want to list. I don't want to list, anything that is under 20 bucks. Well, and under 10 bucks, I take that back. As far as the max, it just doesn't matter to me. I'll list some higher value items on there, but I like to reserve those for the main store. I want to keep the main store ASP up to $75 ish. And that store is never going to be a really high volume count store. It's going to be a low count, high ASP type of store. And if I can maintain 12 plus K a month, which is what we're doing this year, and increase the volume in the second store, which will maybe bring that up to maybe 5 to 10K. Now, we're not there yet on the second store. We have like 230 listings, all kinds of stuff ready to list on that store. We still have stuff that we, like cleats that I've had sitting in queue for the longest time. And it's just me, right? So as you see, I'm doing these photos, and I don't know, maybe I'm slow. I kind of feel slow, but maybe I'm not. But I'm just going to roll with it. I'm going to do the very, very best that I can, just like I would tell you to do the very, very best you can. I'm very particular. So like if something doesn't seem to be clean enough, I'll take my goof off and I'll just clean, because look, like I said, it's how you make the buyer feel. if you send them something that looks beat up, broken, nasty, they're going to feel not too good about what you just sold them. Because I don't know about you, but when I look at my photos, I'm like, wow, the item didn't look like that. This looks really good compared to what the item actually looks like. Like right here, I'm trying to take some close-ups of the hoses, right, to show that there's some issues. But at the end of the day, I see that this is a dirty hose. It's pre-owned. I'm going to describe it that way. In fact, I have in the listing. But someone out there needs this hose. They've lost it. They've maybe bought a vacuum. They didn't have one, and they don't want to buy a new vacuum. So I'm hopeful that they feel good, or at least halfway decent about this purchase, because I don't necessarily know they're going to buy from me again, but I do know this, that this person is going to come back and maybe buy from you again. And I'm hopeful that your customers, you treat them right, you do them right, you take good photos, you give them what they expect, that they're going to come back and buy from me. And I think we should all respect the fact that we are in this together and we share the same customer base. And while it may seem like, we probably are in competition for the most part. I mean, I know there's things that Beard sells that I'm going to be selling, and maybe we'll work together so we're not undercutting each other. I don't want to do that to him, but we're,
Except if it's big girl
unless it's big girl panties, then I'll undercut him by a couple cents, right? Which is what worked when he sent us sent us 2 pairs of 3X women's panties in this. Jenna was just trying to help him out with some, to help him out with that last sale to get him over $1,000 a day. And he sent 2 packages of those along with the toothpaste that we bought. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to throw them out. And just for fun, I decided to take better photos with AI. And guess what? I undercut him by 2 cents and I sold both pairs. And so it ended up being that the toothpaste was free by the time it was said and done. And so, hey, I'm not at all against reselling things that I get sent to me that I'm not expecting. Anybody remember the spare tire that I ended up selling for like 40 bucks plus shipping? And that was the one where these kids were messing with us. They bought an item and were sending things other than what I sent them, right? Some kids from college. But at the end of the day, they could have made 40 bucks on that tire. I did. They didn't. And it was only a $10 item they bought from me. So that $10 item, it was a pain in the butt. Maybe I had to pay for a return label for $7, but they sent me a tire with that return label and I didn't get charged extra for it. So who won there? I think maybe I won there. So yeah, that was I just did all those photos just now. How many minutes are we into this thing for?
13.
Wow, I've been rambling and yapping, huh?
Yeah, so you're good at it.
I'm good at yapping. Hopefully, you guys were somewhat entertained by that. I just had Jenna come out here, and maybe we'll do this format again. I don't know what you guys think of it. I want you to tell me down below. Do you enjoy these little conversations, or these little, I don't even know if they're conversations because I'm talking to myself. But do you enjoy these diatribe sessions that are not attached to the live stream? And if you are, and if it entertains you in some way, then I think we've got a winner here, and it's something that we can maybe try to do maybe on a daily basis. Can you hang with me for 15 minutes a day, honey, for 15 minutes to record me if this is what we decide, if they decide this is what I'm going to be doing? Now, this is in no way going to replace the regular content, but I just wanted to do a little bit more on the channel. And I just feel like I have some knowledge on eBay. I have good experience with reselling. I feel like I'm qualified to be able to sit up here in front of the camera and tell you my experience. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just really feel like I have a lot to say, as you can see. And I want to share that with you. And if you guys are indulgent of that, then come along with me for the ride. Oh, by the way, we had somebody, it's feeling like a rock in my shoe. And I'll say this, look, person came on the live, wanted to correct me. Maybe I gave bad advice to Maya. Maya, if you're out there, how you doing? The advice was she was having an issue with the 3 day handling. Okay, so from what I recall, she had her items set up to do 3 day handling, or we were talking about setting her up with 3 day handling because she just can't get to the post office every day, and they're not coming to her house like they're supposed to with the USPS pickups. And so I said, well, if you're having a problem getting your stuff to the post office, why don't you set your items to 3 day handling and then run your labels like you normally would? If they come, great. If they don't, well, you got 3 days to get the stuff to the post office. And I was told that was bad advice. And it didn't sound right to me, but I went with it. Like, hey, it's bad advice. I'll look it up later. And I looked it up later. eBay tracks your deliveries based on scan, not by label creation. So those of you out there who maybe think that, oh, all I got to do is print the label and I can then be okay with my late percentages. So, eBay measures you on when your item's scanned and when it's actually delivered. If you're late on either one, late scan, pickup scan, or late delivery, has to be both, not either one. Has to be both, not either or, but it's an and situation. Well, then that counts against your percentage. Well, in her case, she can run the label really as soon as the purchase is made, package everything up, get it ready for the post office to come. They don't come. She still has a couple days to get that to the post office because eBay is looking at the scan, not the label creation. And when you go to eBay policy, which is under help and contact, it doesn't talk about label creation. It speaks to scan. eBay wants a scan. Like for instance, I'll get something printed out and like the other day, the carrier didn't come. We didn't get it to the post office. Well, it's a late. It's a possible late. Now I'm going to get it out tomorrow when they do come, hopefully, right? Or if they don't, I'm making a trip to the post office. And then it just has to get there in time. There's a window that eBay gives the buyer. As long as it gets there within that window, there's no late. So my advice to you, if you have a problem getting your stuff consistently picked up or to take it to the post office, set your handling time. It sucks. Yeah, it's going to hurt you a little bit in the algorithm, but the pressure is not going to be there. Maybe for those of you who have part-time jobs and just can't get to the post office all the time, that is certainly something to do. Now, I'll leave you at this. Something kind of crazy happened today, and I'll share it with you. We had our street shut down today because they did what did they do? They recovered the streets. They resurfaced the streets, or at least the street in front of our house. So I got a phone call from FedEx. Our FedEx driver said, hey, I can't get to your house. But I didn't have any FedEx packages, but he had a return. So he had to park behind my house and he handed it to me over my wall.
And why is that? It's because we have a main road behind our house.
Yes, we have a main road behind our house, between our house and the park. And, he's able to hand it to us over the wall. And so I'm like, okay, I guess the mailman's not able to make it today. So we had already parked our car behind the house because we knew this was happening. So I went around and Jenna handed me the packages over the wall. I put them in the car. And as I was driving away, I looked to the right and just inside of our gate, because we're in a gated community, I see the postal truck, but he can't get any further than that. It's all coned off. So I go back, I go inside, and he's not in his truck. I'm like, oh my goodness. Now we're talking, he probably had to go like about 15 houses down, walking all the way down to my house to pick up like 8 big packages. And I'm like, oh no. So I got a notification on my Ring, or in this case, the Blink doorbell, that someone was at my front door. So Jenna had answered it, and I went in on the intercom part of it and said, hey, I'm over here by your truck. And he wanted me to wait for him because he was going to go and take the stuff that he had to the other boxes, some other boxes for the houses in that area. So I said, I'll wait. I'm under a shade tree. But here comes the maintenance guys as soon as he hangs up, and they take the cones away. So his truck is literally in the middle of the road. Nobody can get through because he was parked parallel to these cones, and which aren't there anymore. So I sneak my way around his car, kind of up on the sidewalk. I go over to where he was with the mailboxes, and I said, "Hey, your truck's in the way. They've already removed the cones." So he got in my car, and I gave him a ride back to his truck, where I unloaded my car into his truck. It was the strangest thing you'll ever see. You'll probably never see that again, but I thought it was pretty funny. Here we have this random mail truck in the middle of the road, and people were like, "What the hell is going on?" causing a traffic jam. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little story. You probably won't see or hear. But I just wanted to do this video, thought it was kind of a fun little thing that we'll do, and maybe it's worth doing again, and maybe you don't want to see it again. Please put that down below and let me know if this is something you guys want us to do on a daily basis. Guys, this is what I'm doing. I'm a regular reseller. This is the things that I do. This is the type of items that I list. I'm an eBay first reseller, and I make videos when I have a chance. But figuring out your priorities, whether you want to do YouTube, want to do eBay. For us, it's eBay first. It's what pays the bills. Well, it's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. Want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day, and we will talk to you very soon. Take care.